Remember when you'd sit by the radio, finger on the record button, waiting for that song? The 80s gave us more than Madonna and Michael Jackson. Buried beneath the chart toppers were songs that deserved attention. Here are 15 underrated songs from the 1980s you must hear again. Number 15. Crash by The Primitives. Released in 1988, this power pop gem reached number 5 on the UK charts, but somehow slipped through the cracks of mainstream American radio. The Primitives, fronted by Tracy Spencer's sweet vocals, created something that sounded ahead of its time. The opening guitar riff grabs you immediately, followed by hand claps that make it impossible not to tap along. The song appeared on their debut album, Lovely, and became their signature track. You might recognize it from the 1994 film Dumb and Dumber, where it soundtracked one of the movie's memorable moments. The band, formed in Coventry, England, and Crash, was written by band members Paul Court, Steve Dulligan, and Tracy Spencer themselves. What makes Crash special is its simplicity. There's no overproduction, no unnecessary synths, just pure pop energy that captures the bridge between 80s new wave and the alternative rock that would dominate the 90s. The song peaked at number 3 on the US modern rock charts, finding its audience among college radio listeners who appreciated its straightforward charm. Number 14. I Believe in You by Talk Talk. By 1988, Talk Talk had moved far from their synth-pop roots. I Believe in You appeared on their groundbreaking album Spirit of Eden, an album that confused fans expecting another It's My Life. Lead singer Mark Hollis had discovered minimalism, and the results were stunning. The song tells a deeply personal story. Hollis wrote it about his brother, who struggled with heroin addiction. The lyrics imagine a scenario where his brother overcomes his addiction and finds peace. There's a vulnerability here that was rare in 80s music, a willingness to explore pain without theatrical excess. Musically, I Believe in You moves slowly, deliberately. Gone are the big synths and driving beats. Instead, you hear organic instruments. Acoustic guitar, piano, subtle harmonium. Hollis's voice carries a weight that makes every word count. The production creates space, letting silence speak as loudly as sound. This was the only single from Spirit of Eden, and it didn't chart. Radio stations didn't know what to do with a 6-minute meditation that refused to follow pop formulas. But I Believe in You represents something brave, a band willing to risk everything to make the music they believed in. Number 13. Just Like Heaven by The Cure. Released in October 1987, Just Like Heaven peaked at number 40 on the Billboard Hot 100. For a band as influential as The Cure, that seems criminally low. The song appeared on their album, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, and showcased a lighter side of Robert Smith's songwriting. The opening guitar line, played by Porl Thompson, remains one of the most recognizable intros in alternative rock. Smith's vocals float over the instrumentation, painting a picture of romantic bliss that feels both dreamy and immediate. The lyrics describe running through fields with someone special, spinning until the world becomes a blur of color and sensation. What many listeners don't know is that Smith wrote the song about his wife, Mary. They'd been together since they were teenagers, and Just Like Heaven captures that enduring romance without becoming saccharine. The production balances jangly guitars with synthesizers, creating a sound that was uniquely The Cure, accessible, but never mainstream. The song has grown in stature over the years. Younger generations discovered it through covers and film soundtracks. But in 1987, American radio largely ignored it, preferring harder rock or more polished pop. Today, it stands as one of The Cure's finest moments. Number 12. Save It for Later by The English Beat. The English Beat released Save It for Later in 1982, and it barely cracked the top 40 in the UK. In America, it went largely unnoticed, despite being one of the cleverest pop songs of the decade. The two-tone ska revival band from Birmingham knew how to write hooks, and this song delivered them in spades. Dave Wakeling wrote the lyrics, and they're full of observations about young people navigating uncertain futures. The chorus, with its call to save various things for later, speaks to the anxiety of not quite knowing where life is heading. The ska rhythm gives it energy, while the horn section adds punch without overwhelming the melody. What makes Save It for Later endure is its honesty. Wakeling doesn't pretend to have answers. He's just documenting what he sees. The way young people postpone decisions and hope things will work out. The production captures the band live energy, raw and immediate rather than polished to perfection. The English Beat split up in 1983, just a year after releasing this song. But Save It for Later found new life when Pete Townshend of The Who covered it, and later when it appeared in various films and television shows. The song deserves recognition as one of the 80s smartest pop moments. Number 11. Bizarre Love Triangle by New Order. New Order released Bizarre Love Triangle in November 1986. The original version didn't crack the Billboard Hot 100, though it reached number 56 in the UK. It wasn't until a 1994 remix that the song finally entered the American charts, peaking at number 98. But those numbers don't tell the real story. This song became essential, listening for anyone who haunted alternative dance clubs in the late 80s. The song emerged from the ashes of Joy Division after lead singer Ian Curtis died in 1980. New Order found a new direction, combining post-punk edge with electronic dance music. Bizarre Love Triangle perfected that blend. The synth bass line drives the song forward, while Bernard Sumner's vocals describe the confusion of being caught in emotional turmoil. Every element of the production works in harmony. The drum machine provides a steady pulse that makes it impossible not to move. The synths create melodic hooks that burrow into your memory and refuse to leave. Sumner's detached vocal delivery matches the emotional complexity the lyrics describe. You're dancing, but you're also feeling something real underneath the electronic sheen. The band played this song live for months before recording it, refining and tweaking the arrangement. At various stages, they called it Broken Promises or Broken Guitar Strings. By the time they entered the studio, they knew exactly what they had, something special that combined the best of everything they'd learned. The song's influence grew steadily over time. Electronic music producers studied its arrangement, trying to understand how New Order created such perfectly balanced layers. Alternative bands covered it, finding new ways to interpret its themes of romantic confusion. But in 1986, American mainstream radio didn't know what to do with it. Too electronic for rock stations, too alternative for pop. Bizarre Love Triangle found its audience anyway, through college radio and word of mouth, becoming one of the decade's most enduring tracks. Number 10. Nighttime by Killing Joke. Killing Joke's Nighttime came out in 1985, the title track from their fifth album. The British post-punk band had been making intense, politically charged music since the late 70s, but this song showed a different dimension of their sound. The track opens with an ominous bass line that could soundtrack a thriller film. Jazz Coleman's vocals enter, dramatic and foreboding, singing about darkness and hidden truths. The production creates atmosphere through layers of guitar and keyboards, building tension that never quite releases. It's dance music for people who find most dance music too cheerful. Killing Joke influenced countless bands. Metallica, Nine Inch Nails, Nirvana all cited them as inspiration, but mainstream success eluded them. Nighttime charted modestly in the UK, reaching number 51, and barely registered in America. The band was too heavy for new wave radio, too electronic for metal stations, too dark for pop. But that darkness is exactly what makes Nighttime compelling. The 80s produced plenty of escapist music. Killing Joke made songs that confronted uncomfortable realities. Nighttime doesn't offer easy answers or catchy choruses designed for maximum commercial appeal. It offers something more valuable: authenticity. Number 9. Electricity, by Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. Electricity was OMD's first single, released in 1980. The song reached number 46 in Germany, but failed to chart in most other countries. Yet it laid the foundation for everything electronic pop music would become in the 80s. Andy McCluskey and Paul Humphreys recorded Electricity with minimal equipment: a bass guitar, a Korg M500 micro preset synthesizer, and a rhythm machine. The simplicity forced creativity. McCluskey's bass line anchors the song, while synthesizers create melodic patterns that repeat and evolve. His vocals deliver lyrics about communication and connection with an earnestness that makes the song feel personal. The production sounds almost primitive compared to later 80s synthpop, but that rawness gives Electricity its power. You can hear two young musicians figuring out how to make the future sound like. The drum machine clicks away with mechanical precision. The synths wobble and warble, creating textures that were brand new in 1980. OMD would go on to bigger commercial success with If You Leave and Enola Gay. But Electricity captures something special: the moment when electronic music stopped being an experimental curiosity and became the language of a generation. Anyone who loves synthpop owes a debt to this 3-minute revolution. Number 8. Don't Go, by Yazoo. Yazoo released Don't Go in July 1982. The song peaked at number 3 in the UK, which sounds impressive until you realize it deserved to be number 1. In America, it barely made a ripple. The duo of Alison Moyet and Vince Clarke created something that balanced pure pop with genuine emotion. Clarke had just left Depeche Mode, where he'd written all the songs on their debut album. With Moyet, he found a vocalist who could make synthesizers sound soulful. Her voice on Don't Go carries real pain. She's begging someone to stay, and you believe every word. The production showcases Clarke's genius for melody. The synth hooks are instantly memorable. The drum programming drives the song forward without feeling mechanical. Everything is precisely placed, yet the song never sounds cold or calculated. It's electronic music with a human heart. Yazoo only made 2 albums before splitting in 1983. Clarke went on to form Erasure. Moyet pursued a solo career. But Don't Go remains their signature song, a perfect snapshot of early 80s electronic pop at its finest. The fact that American radio ignored it says more about American radio than it does about the song. Number 7. Walking in L.A. by Missing Persons. Missing Persons released Walking in L.A. in 1982, and it became a modest hit, reaching number 74 on the Billboard Hot 100. The band featured Dale Bozzio's distinctive vocals and her then-husband Terry Bozzio's complex drumming, along with former Frank Zappa guitarist Warren Cucurullo. The song's central premise, that nobody walks in Los Angeles, was both observation and satire. Dale Bozzio's vocals alternate between speaking and singing, describing attempts to navigate L.A. on foot and encountering confusion from drivers. The new wave production features bouncing bass lines, quirky keyboards, and Dale's voice treated with effects that made it sound otherworldly. Missing Persons brought an art school sensibility to new wave. Dale's fashion sense, featuring wild hair and avant-garde outfits, made her a MTV fixture. But substance backed up the style. Walking in L.A. offered social commentary wrapped in a catchy package, poking fun at car culture and urban sprawl. The band never achieved the mainstream success their talent deserved. Internal tensions led to their breakup by the late 80s. But Walking in L.A. endures as a document of its time, capturing both the sound and the sensibility of early 80s Los Angeles. Number 6. Genius of Love by Tom Tom Club. Tom Tom Club's Genius of Love came out in June 1981 and peaked at 31 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song became a foundational track for hip-hop, sampled by countless artists, including Mariah Carey on Fantasy. But in 1981, many rock fans dismissed it as a throwaway side project. Tom Tom Club was formed by Talking Heads members Tina Weymouth and Chris France, while the band was on hiatus. They wanted to make music that was fun, danceable, and free from the art rock expectations surrounding Talking Heads. Genius of Love delivered exactly that. The song's bass line, played by Weymouth, is one of the most infectious grooves in popular music. The lyrics name-check various musical heroes over a production that combines funk, reggae, and new wave. Weymouth's vocals feel relaxed, almost conversational, as if she's talking to friends rather than performing for an audience. The Genius of Love lies in its effortlessness. Nothing feels forced or overthought. The song grooves along, accumulating layers of percussion, keyboards, and vocal harmonies. By the time it fades out after 7 minutes, you wish it would continue forever. Number 5. Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack.
Released in February 1981, Once in a Lifetime peaked at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's not terrible, but this song should have been inescapable. From the album Remain in Light, it showcased Talking Heads at their experimental peak. David Byrne's vocal delivery is almost confrontational, asking questions that sound like they're directed at the listener. How did I get here? The lyrics explore themes of domestic entrapment and spiritual awakening with surreal imagery. A man looks at his life and doesn't recognize it. He stands in front of his beautiful house with his beautiful wife and wonders whose life he's living. The production, helmed by Brian Eno and the band, creates a hypnotic groove based on African rhythms. The bass line locks with the drums. Guitars add texture without dominating. Keyboards create atmosphere. Everything works together to produce a trance-like state that supports Byrne's increasingly frantic vocals. MTV played the video constantly, featuring Byrne's now famous jerky dancing and spasmodic movements. The song became a cult favorite, frequently cited by other musicians as influential. But mainstream radio never fully embraced it. Too weird, too challenging, too willing to make listeners uncomfortable. Number 4. No More Words by Berlin. Berlin released No More Words in 1984 from their album Love Life. The song only reached number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100, overshadowed by their massive hit, Take My Breath Away, 2 years later. But No More Words deserved better. Terry Nunn's vocals drive the song with power and vulnerability. She's singing about a relationship reaching its endpoint, where talking has become futile. The production features layers of synthesizers creating a wall of sound that was quintessentially mid-80s. The drum programming hits hard. The bass synth pulses underneath everything. What elevates No More Words beyond typical new wave fare is its emotional honesty. Nunn doesn't hide behind irony or detachment. She's genuinely hurting, and she makes you feel it. The chorus soars, each repetition adding intensity. Berlin had been making music since the late 70s, evolving from punk origins into synth-pop sophistication. No More Words represents that evolution perfectly, balancing commercial appeal with artistic integrity. The fact that it didn't become a massive hit speaks to the randomness of radio playlists more than the quality of the song. Number 3. Life in a Northern Town by the Dream Academy. The Dream Academy's Life in a Northern Town came out in 1985 and peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. That might seem like success, but this beautiful, haunting song deserved to dominate the year. Written as a tribute to folk singer Nick Drake, it captures a specific melancholy. The production features folk instruments, acoustic guitars, piano, alongside 80 synths and drum machines. The result sounds both timeless and of its moment. The vocals, shared by band members Nick Laird-Clowes and Kate St. John, harmonize gorgeously on the repeated refrain. The song builds slowly, adding layers until it reaches an emotional peak. Lyrically, Life in a Northern Town paints pictures of working-class English life. Salvation Army bands play on street corners. People struggle through gray winters. But there's beauty in the struggle, dignity in perseverance. The song honors ordinary lives without patronizing or sentimentalizing them. The Dream Academy never matched this song's success. They made 2 more albums before disbanding. But Life in a Northern Town remained their defining moment. It stands as one of the 80s most affecting ballads, a song that trusted listeners to appreciate subtlety. Number 2. Words by Missing Persons. Another gem from Missing Persons, Words, was released in 1982 from their debut album Spring Session M. The song peaked at 42 on the Billboard Hot 100. Dale Bozzio's processed vocals make even simple lyrics sound otherworldly as she sings about communication and meaning. The production exemplifies early 80s new wave, sharp guitar lines, punchy bass, synthesizers that add color without overwhelming. Terry Bozzio's drumming, refined through years playing with Frank Zappa, brings complexity that elevates the song beyond standard pop fare. Every fill is purposeful, every accent meaningful. Words explores how language can clarify or confuse, connect, or divide. Bozzio repeats the title with different inflections, showing how the same word can carry different meanings. The bridge breaks down into almost tribal rhythms before building back up to the final chorus. The band's visual presentation, Dale's wild fashion, their colorful music videos made them MTV favorites. But substance supported the style. Words works as pure pop and as something more thoughtful, a combination that should have made it a massive hit. Instead, it became a cult favorite, beloved by those who discovered it. Number 1. So Alive by Love and Rockets. Love and Rockets released So Alive in 1989, and it reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's the biggest commercial success on this list. But mainstream recognition came late. The band, formed by 3 former Bauhaus members, had been making innovative music throughout the 80s. So, Alive features a groove that draws from funk and rock equally. Daniel Ash's guitar work creates hypnotic patterns. David J's bass line drives the song forward. The production adds layers of keyboards and percussion that build intensity. Lead vocals, shared by Ash and Jay, have a dreamy quality that matches the title. What makes So Alive special is how it captures late 80s alternative rock at a turning point. The song has one foot in the gothic post-punk that Bauhaus pioneered, and another in the grunge and alternative rock that would explode in the 90s. It proved that former goth icons could make radio-friendly music without compromising their vision. The song's success opened doors for other alternative bands. It showed that American mainstream audiences would embrace something darker, more textured than standard pop fare. By the time So Alive charted, the 80s were ending. It provided a bridge to whatever came next. The 80s gave us more than the hits we hear on classic radio stations. These 15 songs represent different corners of that decade. New wave, post-punk, synth-pop, alternative rock. They deserve to be remembered alongside the better-known classics. Each one captures something special about those years when music was transforming, when synthesizers met guitars, when artists were willing to experiment and take risks. These songs haven't disappeared. They wait for rediscovery. They're on streaming services, in used record stores, in boxes of old cassettes gathering dust. Maybe you remember them from the first time around, when you heard them on late-night radio or saw the videos on MTV. Maybe you're discovering them now. Either way, they sound as vital today as they did when they were new. That's the mark of great music. It survives changes in fashion and technology to speak directly to anyone willing to listen. The artists who made these songs took chances. They didn't always get rewarded with chart success or platinum albums, but they created something that mattered, something that endured. They gave us music that still moves us, still makes us think, still makes us feel. If you enjoyed this trip through 80s music history, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the songs that shaped our lives. What underrated 80s songs did we miss? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep listening, keep discovering, and keep the music alive.